I know that I didn't set it up early. I didn't notify you guys, and I'm like 7 or 8 minutes late. Sorry about that. But let's see if anybody can join us. Yes, because we have so many things that we are doing right now in life. And one of them is trying to get the Garden Like a Viking to be a legitimate like company, like an S corp, you know. And so my tax guy was like, "Hey, just call Legal Zoom. You know, it's like a website. Just call Legal Zoom, and they will set you up as an S corp. And yeah, and then you can." They told me everything to do, but it's not quite that easy. You don't just call Legal Zoom and they set you up as an S corp. You have to like wait on hold for 45 minutes, and then you have to like. It's way more complex than that. So. Yeah, so that's where I was. Matthias, hello, my friend. Hope that the others join us. Yes, Roberta Villela. Yes, glad that you are here. Glad. So I guess some people are showing up now. And my fault. I was not able to schedule it early because I was on the legal Zoom call. Yeah, popped up late. We just started like 1 minute and 30 seconds ago. So we'll give it the 5 minutes or so, and then we'll do a little meditation, and then we'll talk about some things. I want to know from you guys. Good morning, Ursula. I want to know from you guys what you think. I'm thinking I'm going to start a new channel, actually. And maybe, what would the name of it be? Where we just do this. Because my Nate Muri channel is pretty much, it's kind of hobbled. You know, because the reach is never really going to go that far. I can tell already because I started it several years ago and it never had a focus. You know, it's like 4 years old, this Nate Muri channel, and it never had a focus. So I did like the master cleanse, and then I did some different videos, and I've deleted like 50 videos from this channel already. But so that's why, you know, most of the people that's like are subscribed to this channel for the master cleanse, just so that they know how to do the Beyonce diet. It really is what, and they don't watch any of the other stuff. And so I think I'm gonna start a dedicated channel just for you guys and like this interaction, so that we just do lives on that channel, and maybe some cold training stuff. But you know, keep it dedicated. That way, maybe the reach could get a little bit further. So what do you think about that? And what do you think a good name for it would be? The new channel where we do this could be something like Viking Talks. That's it. Just Viking Talks. Could be something like that. Yes, hello, Pam. I know I wasn't able to start it early because I was doing some stuff on Legal Zoom, you know, trying to get Garden Like a Viking incorporated or S-corped and stuff like that. It's a lot more complicated than people... At least to me, I don't really speak that language. You know what I mean? I don't speak the language of the taxes and what tax bracket you're in and what earning, blah, blah, blah. For years, I didn't even have any money or anything, you know? So, yeah, it's like learning a new language, okay? PA says, did you get the message on Insta? What message are you talking about, my friend? And guys, I'm just starting the... I'm going to revamp my Garden Like a Viking Facebook page. So I'm actually not going to delete it like I said that I was going to. And I'm going to just start putting out a bunch of stuff there. So if you guys are on Facebook, look up Garden Like a Viking and follow me there. And, you know, share the stuff is really good. That will be really helpful because Instagram doesn't actually like really monetize, but Facebook does monetize. So as a full-time content creator now, I need to be monetizing so that I can spend all my efforts doing this kind of thing. So that would help if you guys will share stuff. If you're on Facebook, share the posts that I've made, and I'll be putting lots of posts. I'll even do like lives on Facebook and stuff like that. But that's all about the gardening stuff for the most part. But yeah, so what do you think? So we'll do the meditation here shortly once some other people show up. But what do you guys think is a good name for the new channel? I'm going to start a new channel where we're doing just this kind of stuff because the master cleanse and all that stuff is dragging the channel down. It's still great. I'm going to leave all that stuff up, but I want to start a new channel about just this kind of stuff, basically spiritual talks, things like that, because I want to do a lot more of that in life. And so you become good at whatever you practice, my friends. Hello, Val. Hello, TC. Trish, good to see you here. Jay Bramer. Focus like a Viking. That's definitely true. That's a side effect, definitely. What do you think? Thrive like a Viking? Because obviously the brand now is like a Viking, obviously. So Viking Talks is one of them. Thrive like a Viking. Something like that. Let me know. If you're watching this after the fact, put it in the comments, okay? Because I want you guys to be a part of it. So we will see. Mind, body, and soul like a Viking. Not bad. Not bad. Except that I don't make that distinction anymore. The mind, body, and soul is one. It's all one. It always has been. So Ursula says, make a poll with the name options. Yes, eventually I will do that. But we will need some name options first. Jamie Copeland, hello, my friend, says, good morning, everyone. Happy to be here. We are happy you're here as well. We're going to start the meditation here shortly. And then after that, we will see where it goes. Last week, I felt was really good. It was a really good one. Had no idea that that's where we were going with everything, but turned out to be a great conversation. And yes, I was liking that. So ignore. Okay. Let's see here. Gardening and Clay, good morning, my friend. We're about to start the meditation here in a moment. And Richin Taiwari says, I'm feeling headaches during my 3-day water fast. Yes, you will be. A water fast can be good, but most people already are deficient in so many things that the master cleanse is far superior to a water fast, in my opinion and experience. I've done them both, of course. The master cleanse with the saltwater flush and all of the good enzymes and the lemon and the brain minerals and the maple syrup, that is the best cleanse of all. Better, far better than a water fast, because you actually heal and restore things other than just fasting and depleting you more. Sorry, Rich, I can't give you much advice on that because I don't advocate water fasts. So, Brian, hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, Mick, what's up, my friend? So, okay, guys, we are going to do a little 10-minute meditation, okay? This is just like a mind training. It's like going to the gym for your mind, and we are going to do the same thing that we have been doing. So these meditations will follow a progress, and that is why I want to start the new channel with just doing this kind of thing. I mean, these lives and stuff like that, because we will, after we are doing this type of meditation for some time, you will find that the power of the mind increases dramatically, the power to stay focused. And that's what it's all about, to be able to focus the energies and to keep the mind from just being all over the place. And you will see the results and the benefit from that. And then we can utilize that, our newfound strength and the mental sharpness, to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Yes. So let us begin the 10-minute meditation by sitting in a comfortable position. It doesn't matter exactly what position, if it's in a chair, if it's on the ground, doesn't matter so much. The only thing that really matters is that your spine is straight, because this allows for the energy to flow throughout the body. And let us take a few deep conscious breaths together. Hold and release. Breathe fully in as deeply as you can. Hold for a moment and release. Again, breathing fully in. Hold. And release. Okay, one more, fully in. Hold. And release. Now allow the body to breathe naturally and normally. During the meditation, there is no need to breathe in any particular way. You give total control of the breath over to the body and allow the body to breathe for you. As you breathe naturally and normally, the breath will settle into a rhythm. Take notice of the rhythm of the breath. And now bring your attention to the area at the tip of the nose, the area around the nostrils, and feel the air as it flows into the body and back out of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. There is no need to think about anything else. There is no need to try and breathe in any particular way. Just observe. Empty your mind of anything else. There is no need to plan for the future right now. There is no need to remember the past. Free yourself and come here and now. Focus only on the sensation of air as it passes through your nose and fills your lungs, and your lungs expand. Once they're nice and full, the air falls back out. Completely allow this moment exactly as it is. The body is breathing for you. If there are noises in the background, don't bother with them. Just allow them to be. If there is discomfort in the body, just allow it to be. It's only for now. It's not forever. If thoughts come into your mind, there's no need to follow them. Just bring your attention back to the sensation of air as it flows into your body, nourishing the lifeblood, and flows back out. Breathing in, breathing out. If you find that your mind is wandering around, above all else, you must be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And gently bring your attention back to the breath. That's all. Nothing else is needed right now. If you find your mind is wandering, or you become preoccupied with other sensations in the body, it's all right. It's part of it. Bring your attention back. Just notice whatever it might be. If you feel discomfort, just notice it and bring the attention back to the breath. If you hear the commentator in the head, just notice it and come back to the breath. Feel the effortless nature of this moment. You are fully supported by the universe. The energy is all around you. Breathe it in. It animates your life. We have just a couple more minutes. Really focus. Just the breath. From the moment you are born to the moment you pass, the breath is your dearest friend. Feel how the breath is supporting you. The body is breathing for you. The blood is absorbing the oxygen for you. You don't have to try any of it. It's all just happening. Observe. Now let us take a few deep breaths together and consciously come back. And exhale. Breathing deeply in. Hold. And exhale. One more, breathing fully in. Hold. And exhale. Okay, my friends. So, as you come back into your senses, let us try to keep a portion of our attention anchored in the breath, anchored in the now. The breath is the now. The breath is happening now. The sensation you're experiencing is now. It is not in the future. It is not in the past. You're experiencing only the now. That is all you ever experience is now. You never experience the future. You never experience the next breath. You only experience this one. You never experience the previous breaths. You only experience this one. And the deeper we practice this, the more we come to see this is the way our life flows, only in the now. So many of you at this point, if you've been practicing for the last several weeks, yes, Laura, you're welcome. Thank you. If you've been practicing with us for the last several weeks, then you will have noticed that your mind is perhaps not under your control as you've always thought that it is. Most of us go under the assumption in our life that, well, of course, I'm in control of my mind. I mean, what do you mean? That's absurd to think that I'm not in control of my mind. If I'm not, who is or what is? Well, then sit down and focus only on the sensation of air passing in and out of the nose for 15 minutes. And if you were in control of the mind, that would be effortless. That would be easy. And many of you will find, though, when you begin this practice, it's not easy. In fact, it can be one of the most difficult things that there is to do, because our whole life we've just allowed the mind to run rampant. And so when we try to focus it on something, it gets agitated, it short circuits, and it's just off to the races. But where is the mind, where is the desires of the mind coming from? If you're not in control of them, how can you even say they're yours? Are they yours? So if the mind is even yours, then just set it aside for a while. And all of these kind of things we see directly when we begin the practices, the meditation, the cold training, the breathing, all of this, it's all one. And when we begin the practices, that's how we see. And that's how we experience the truth. And so, hopefully you guys have been practicing Feed the Now with Nate Murray. I like that, Brian. Nice. So hopefully you guys have been practicing in your day-to-day life. So it's like many other things. It's like many classes or many things that you do. So once a week, we will have this formal type of session where it's sort of guided and we've got the supportive energy of each other. All right. That's wonderful because that's very helpful. The collective energy is very helpful. And even though that we are separated by continents, some of us, South Africa, Portugal, all over the globe, but we're all here now. And as you will discover with the meditation practice, distance isn't real like we think that it is. Neither is time. And so there is here and now. And so even though we appear to be separated, we're all here and now. So that collective energy can be very powerful and can be very supportive. It can help your mind to calm down. Some of you may find that if you try the meditation practice in your day-to-day life, it's a little more difficult at first, and that's okay. So as often as you can, here's the practice, guys, for this next week. As often as you can, become aware of your breathing. Sensation of air as it flows in and out of the body. That's what that really means. You've heard that a lot from meditation practitioners. Just become aware of your breath. Okay, well, what does that really mean, though? The mind, especially at first, needs more to hold on to. It needs, okay, well, what do you mean become aware of the breath? Okay, I'm breathing. But the way that I found most useful when I was practicing in India, the sadhus, the ancient men that have dedicated their life to nothing but spiritual pursuit, I spent so long with them, and they are the one that opened my eyes to this. Is I said, what does that really mean? You focus on the sensation. Everything is the feeling. You focus on the feeling as it flows in and out of the body. You focus on the expansion of the chest, the clothes as it moves across your skin when the chest expands and then contracts. All of that, it's all the breath, and it gets more and more subtle until you can taste the trees, the oxygen from the trees and the plants, and you can feel the gratitude that they have when you breathe back out what they breathe in. It gets very subtle, my friends. Illuminate like a Viking. That's not a bad one. Yes, illuminate. Yes, I like illuminate. Yeah, I've thought of this. Here and now like a Viking. Nice, Taida. We can just put anything like a Viking. Yes? Thrive like a Viking. Feed the now. I like all this stuff. Guys, thanks for the help with all of it. Let's just keep let's just keep brainstorming with it. So the so what do we talk about now? Because many of you have probably begun to feel the effects of Viking Talks. Okay, thank you, Roberta. I think Viking Talks is simple and easy, and it kind of, yeah, we'll have to see. It sticks with the brand, definitely, which is, Garden Like a Viking. So. But what does that really mean? What does the Viking thing really mean? A lot of people want to think that Viking is, and the Viking tribe and everything. So they want to think that that we're trying to play like historical Vikings and stuff like that. But that's not at all what the whole thing is about. It's not about trying to act like what we perceive historical Vikings acted like. It's not at all like that. So a lot of people, a lot of comments and stuff, well, that's not how the Vikings did it. That's not what I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about not a dead people in history. I'm talking about the spirit of the Viking is alive and well right this moment, right here, right now. I'm talking the spirit of exploration. Exploration of the world, which I've done extensively, but exploration of the mind, the actual frontier, and the fearlessness that the Vikings had to just set sail into the unknown out of that fire within them. This is the spirit of the Viking that is alive and well. This is what the like a Viking means. It doesn't mean that we try to wear red tunics and we wear furs and drink out of horns and stuff. No. My actual ancestors from Norway, the Vikings, had this spirit, but it's not only particular to them. Any person can absorb and create and nurture the spirit of the Viking, which is the spirit of exploration, the spirit of the acquisition of knowledge and of new experiences, the spirit of generosity and community, and the spirit of nurturing the earth. Most historical Vikings were farmers. Almost all of them were farmers, and first and foremost. And so they had a deep appreciation for the earth. All of these things, this is all the like a Viking, okay? It's not that we're going to dress up in costumes and stuff like that and act like what we think historical Vikings were like. No, we are real Vikings right now. So that's what that is. Val says, Viking equals strength in my mind. Absolutely, strength. It is strength, but not like the brute force strength. That's part of it, but it's mental strength. It's strength of character is the real virtue of the Viking, and the ability to adapt to circumstances. This is everything that the whole like a Viking mentality is. You adapt to changing circumstances. And so when we look to historical Vikings, if they were held on real tight to their knowledge and to their way of life, they would have never expanded all over the globe. And so they were never really defeated, the historical Viking. They just assimilated into the cultures that they visited, And so that is a very powerful, that's an undefeatable mentality. Do you understand the merit in that? Is that to adapt and flow and change with the circumstances, and to absorb what is useful and to just let go of the rest. That is undefeatable, that kind of mentality, because in any situation you are going to thrive once you set up that structure of looking at the world. So that is very important. Spiritual awakening like a Viking. I like it. Fellowship with the Viking. Nice. Viking fellowship. Fellowship with the Viking. I like that. Not bad at all. So fortitude and adaptability. Yes, absolutely. If you can't bend, you will break. And this is very important. So let's see here. Okay. Take a liking to take a liking to a Viking. Yeah, I like that, Pilar. Viking chit chat. Ooh, I don't like that term chit chat. I don't like that term chit chat. It seems nonsensical and like frivolous and stuff. But this is actually not frivolous or nonsensical. Matthias says, this is so good and calming. It is easier getting used to than I expected based on past experiences. Yes, and what's important, guys, if you really want to, if you're serious about it, which if you're here, then you've got some kind of the curiosity in you, some spark of the fire. If you want to be serious about it, you have to set a time. You have to set a dedicated time. You have to schedule your spiritual awakening in a way. You have to schedule the mind training in the same way that you would schedule an appointment, or that you would schedule going to the gym, or that you would schedule something at your job. You know, you have to treat it as such and say, okay, once you find the right time that is right for you for these practices, you do them every day or so many times a week at a certain time, and you schedule it and you stick to that. And consistency is the key in all of that, because you become good at whatever you practice. At first, it takes a while. And this is with any transformation in our life. At first, it seems like work, and it takes a while because, oh man, it's you really have to sort of make an effort. But then that's the way that the human mind is, the human psyche, the human body, the energy, is that once it gets moving in a certain direction, it becomes easier and easier to maintain that same thing. Yes? How many of you know Jocko Willink, who is a Navy SEAL? He's very motivational. You know, I've seen many of his things, and this concept, he outlines it very well. But then I understand this from my physical and mental experience in life, especially the past like 10 years, six years in particular. And so at first it is difficult, you're making the energy, but then everything gets moving in that direction. And so once you begin to see the result, once you begin to see the effect, then it compounds on itself. And so this has to do with anything. If we're talking about mind training, also if we're talking about physical training in any way, guys, calisthenics is a wonderful thing. Every morning, 20, 30 minutes of calisthenics is fantastic for the body. That's all the workout that you need to do. I love that. Get it first thing in the morning, push-ups to failure, and then flies with the resistance band, and then pull-ups, and then squats, maybe some kettlebell. Super good. All of it just body weight. That's all you really need. Super high reps, body weight exercises. Feels fantastic. And what it does, you know, you're not sitting on a bench trying to do these specific range of motions and stuff. No, you're moving the body, and you're learning how to manipulate the weight and the gravity of the body, which has many benefits besides just the strength. And so first thing in the morning I found is best for me, because it gets me right into the body, and it gets that pump going on, the blood circulating. It just feels fantastic. And so I highly recommend, just get you a little routine like that, and then you will see the transformations and have so like for me, for example, not saying you have to have this, but me, for example, I have 20, 30 minutes of the calisthenics, and then I do the breathing exercises, which is like a meditation. That's about 18 minutes with 3 breath holds, 3 long retentions. And it's fantastic. And then, well, now in the afternoon time sometime, I will be doing the ice bath. Because, guys, I got the chest freezer ice bath working again, and it is cold. I mean, I think I told you this last week, maybe, but it is very cold. It's because in the wintertime, when I set it outside, the temperature kind of gets colder at night, so the water gets colder and colder gradually, and I can sort of adapt. But man, this is like straight up freezing right away. And so, yeah, but I'm doing it anyways. You just do it anyways and just tell the body to adapt. And it's amazing, though, that once these channels are formed over cold training and you know, for extended periods of time and stuff, working with the power of the mind doesn't forget this. You can just go right back. So even after just a few, I've done 3 or 4 ice baths now, and immediately now I can go in and just dial right in. It's like the pupils dilate, the reptilian part of the brain overrides everything, and boom, I just go into the mode. And it's such a deep meditation. It's just so phenomenal, guys. You got to get on it, okay? And we will be doing more of that as the season progresses. I want to do some videos on that. Yeah, so I'm loving all these names, guys. Keep them coming. Align with the Viking. I like it. I like it. Some things will be more like a motto, not maybe a name of of the channel, but yeah, what do you think it'll be? Because I want to focus it on this kind of talk. We'll do a live at least once a week. Maybe in the future, if we got more people in the tribe and stuff, then we will do 2 a week. But then I also want to do like a tutorial on cold training, a tutorial on sauna training, just like a 10-minute, more like my Viking videos, my gardening videos, where they're just concise, to the point, and show something. So that's what I'm thinking, because I'm feeling like the Master Cleanse, all that Master Cleanse stuff and those past videos that I've made are really kind of hobbling the channel, this channel, not really allowing it to expand very much. Core of a Viking, to witness the inner core of Nate's world. Ooh, nice. Yes, that's definitely what's happening. Taida says, how long do you personally stay in the bath? 2 minutes is adequate. Yes, 2 minutes is adequate. Longer than that, and it's a mental thing after that. But for all of the physical benefits, 2 minutes is good to shoot for. Now, there's a couple of ways you can get into it. You can go by, gradually doing the cold showers and stuff. Okay, you end the shower with 15 seconds of cold water at first. Even 5 seconds of cold water for some people is like, just end your regular shower with 5 seconds of cold, water. And then you progress that over the days and stuff till it's like 30 seconds. And then it's like a minute at the end of the shower. And then you begin the shower with the cold water and do a little bit of hot in between, like this. Then you can graduate to the ice baths. So if you guys want to know the gradual protocol, maybe I'll make a video on that on the new channel, the gradual protocol. But really, also you can just go right into the ice bath. That's the way I like to do most things in life, is just like jump right into the deep end and sink or swim. And it just, go right into the ice bath and just deal with it. Just deal with it. And your body will be fine. Your body will be absolutely fine. And yeah, so that's what I suggest. But 2 minutes is totally adequate for all of the cold shock proteins, the adrenal axis to be reset. For the endorphins, the epinephrine, norepinephrine, all of this kind of stuff, the dynorphin, all of these chemicals and things, 2 minutes is totally adequate. Your body will feel like you just ran or had like some serious workout. It's pretty fantastic, guys. So I say get into it. I love a good sauna and snow roll. Yes. Yes, me too. Matthias, Viking Master. Yes, thank you, my friend, for the respect, the title of respect. I understand that. In the West, though, we couldn't use master for anything because it's not. It's like in the in the East, that's a very common term of respect. Master, this and that. Here in the West, it's kind of conjures images of like an ego. You know what I mean? Like master. Oh, and that's not. That's not. That's not the case. There is, it's kind of like almost like in the West, that term would be viewed almost like an egotistical, sort of a negative kind of thing, at least as far as I'm aware of this. It's not like in the East and maybe the Near East and stuff like that, where it's a sign of a term of a teacher, like a sensei, Can I do the Master Cleanse without organic lemons? I cannot find any organic ones. Yeah, you can, but man, I would definitely wait until you can find the organic ones. Remember, you can use limes as well on the Master Cleanse. But not only are they going to be free from the toxic chemicals, but they're going to be grown in such a way that they will be more nutrient dense. And so that's very important. When you're only consuming lemons, the lemonade mixture, then you really need to make sure you're getting all the minerals possible. And the conventionally farmed ones these days, the soils are so depleted, everything is such a joke that it's going to be devoid of really what you need. So the best is to find a lemon tree, or someone that uh, tends them properly. But if not, then I strongly suggest organic ones. I've done it without organic ones before. I've actually ran out halfway through of a cleanse. This was several years ago now. Halfway through of a cleanse, I ran out of the organic ones and could only find the conventional ones. And I had major problems after I started the conventional ones of just lethargy and just problems and just not getting the minerals that I needed. So I don't suggest it. Borderline Crazy says, your friendly neighborhood Viking. Yes. Yeah. Friendly neighborhood Viking. Almost seems like an oxymoron. Let's see. Graham, what's up, my friend? Says, people have been turned into pansies. Even getting dirt on their hands is shocking to them. They need to wear gloves or can't do it. Oh, absolutely, man. When I'm making videos on my other channel, the Garden Like a Viking channel, dude, I get so many comments from people that there's dirt under your fingernails. Oh, no, look, all that bacteria under your fingernails. It's gonna. You need to wash your hands thoroughly after handling the blah blah blah, the soil and stuff. I mean, honestly, people are talking about you need to wear gloves when you handling soil and all that stuff. I'm thinking, man, you guys are so disconnected. You are so out of touch. If you think that handling soil is harmful in any way, then you have lost touch with reality and with your true nature of this being. Because we are the soil. We come from the soil, and you will return to the soil. This entire organism is soil. It's soil particles rearranged and then animated with the breath of life. And then, boom, there will come a time when you will become worm food and thus soil again. So it's only temporarily rented soil rearranged in a different way. That's one way to look at it. And so to think, those people have got their mind warped. The propaganda has stenciled really well into their mind. And the people that, the fingernail thing is just bizarre. But so is the thing talking about you have to wear gloves and you have to these safety protocols, and man, so many people in the homemade fertilizers and stuff talking about all these different sicknesses that you're going to get, and I would never put that anywhere near my vegetable garden because this and this strain of bacteria. And I'm thinking, guys, I've been doing this for years and years, and I am robustly healthy, and I have a thriving immune system and all of that stuff. And I've never once got sick from any of that kind of stuff. So what do you mean that it's that big of a deal? Maybe you need more of it in your life. That's the thing I want to tell them, of course. But I never interact with people like that. I just let it all just dissolve into the ether. But I want to be like, well, okay, but maybe you should try a little more of this. Because, man, when I was in California, I noticed this specifically because I was close with a network of people that were, even though we were living like in the mountains and stuff, they were really like new agey, and I don't really know how to describe or categorize this, but it was they were super concerned with the germs and all of this for their kids. They kept their kids with hand sanitizer. They kept their kids, constantly cleaning their clothes and all of this stuff. And those kids, and it was multiple different families, all right? And those kids were constantly sick. They were constantly sick. And they always had a sniffle. They were always getting over this or that, or, oh, they've got this and this condition. And they were all sickly and sort of anemic looking because they didn't want to eat the wild stuff. They didn't want to eat the stuff that had the germs on it and all this stuff. And beef and meat's not good for you. So they were only eating plants and stuff, which that can work in the right culture. But these people didn't understand. So the kids were all like sickly looking and anemic. As opposed to there was a other group of kids that were just, had really kind of negligent parents. Really negligent, actually. Someday I'll write about this in the book. But, deeply negligent. But these kids were basically feral. I'd never seen, even in the villages and stuff in Asia, I'd never seen such feral kids. And these kids were just barely had diapers on and stuff, and were just in the mud all the time, and the parents weren't looking after them and stuff, but they were robustly healthy. These kids were thick, and they never were sick. And they had a clear look in their eyes. They always had a good countenance, whatever you call it. They always laughed and stuff like that. And they were raised in what could be called squalor. I mean, definitely could be called squalor. We're talking old mountain people that never been to school in their life. There is those people in America. Deep in the mountains in Northern California, the people that were born there and stuff, they just a totally different society. And and so I saw that direct comparison for several years. And it was just, that all helps to mold your perceptions and your knowledge base. Let's see. Pilar says, you can scrape your nails over a soap bar before gardening to help with less dirt under them. Yeah, that would probably work. I have absolutely no concern whatsoever about dirt under my fingernails, as many people know. I actually like to let them grow. I mean, I don't like try and grow long nails, but they're super useful. When you're working with your hands and stuff, having those little, especially when you're pinching off stuff, this little razor sharp thumbnail, boom, is like a little knife blade. Let's see. TC says, poor kids are going to have trouble in the future. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, the one kids are going to have emotional trouble, probably, maybe, just from their feral nature and their vacant parents. But the other kids are going to have like real troubles, like physical troubles, and be sick all the time and have anxiety because they were not exposed to the hardships and stuff. They weren't exposed. They were just so protected by the little snowflake parents and stuff. It just, yeah. But of course, I just observe all of that. I just observe because who am I to say anything about any of that? I don't have any kids. So, Graham says, trying to tell them starts trouble. They're never wrong and cannot be corrected. They become quite aggressive and start trying to make you out to be the fool, egotistical maniacs. That's really what it boils down to. And it's been stenciled into their brain and all of that to immediately get aggressive and to belittle and be combative to someone that's got an opposing viewpoint. California is kind of, not everybody, but California, there's the highest concentration of that kind of people that I found in California. San Francisco and north. I don't know much about below San Francisco. But I know intimately San Francisco and north. So PA says, if you want to improve your microbiome, be a bit less hygienic and play around in the soil. Oh, absolutely, man. For sure you can be. I mean, what do you think that people did in the past? And in the villages, oh my goodness, they're still very much like this. Trish says, I'm literally planting out more sweet potato slips with my dirty bare paws. Wouldn't have it any other way. Been playing in the dirt since I was born. Won't ever stop. Yes, absolutely. There's no reason to. There's no way. Where are you at that you're planting sweet potato slips? I think you told me this before, though, but yeah. Well, the sweet potatoes here are growing crazy. I mean, super thick stems and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have followed the Instagram account that I have, but on the Garden Like a Viking one. But I was showing you this Viking nutrients blend that I'm formulating for you guys, and it's proving to work, of course, like I knew it would. But it's a recipe that I developed over many years in Northern California. So I just tweaked it a little bit for the vegetable garden, and it's producing kind of Jurassic results. So, but we'll see at the end of the year. 4 Points Homestead, what's up, my friend? Says, dang it, got busy with some plumbing for my garden and got a late start, but I'm here now. Yep, you missed the good meditation, so go back. You can go back and check it out. Nourish and flourish. Yes, I like that. Well, you're full of the sayings now today, aren't you, Ursula? Graham says, I used to eat the odd earthworm when I was younger. Not many, but I did. Still alive today. Yeah, not a problem at all, man. People eat the craziest things all over the world. Jackie says, the bacteria in dirt is healthy for you. Brings life, not death. Absolutely. I agree. Let's see. Yeah, Ursula says, 4 Points Homestead. We're generating name possibilities for a new channel. That's right. I think that we're going to start a new channel with just this kind of stuff. And not the Master Cleanse, not all the other stuff that I've made over the years. I think it's short-circuiting the algorithm. Let's see. TC says I ate them too when I was a kid. Yeah, I can't say that I ever remember eating worms as a kid. All kinds of bizarre stuff. But I mean, my dad got me my first gun when I was 8. I would go hunting, and then he got me a dirt bike as well. And we had this huge 700-acre woods in the back of the house, and it wasn't ours. It was just like somebody's, but it was just had trails all over it and stuff. So I would just go out there all the time, riding with the gun strapped to my back. It was so nice, and riding my dirt bike. And I had little encampments. Me and my friend Ben, he also had a dirt bike, and so we would go out and we would get squirrels and rabbits and mourning doves, and just about anything. I mean, anything. Possum, groundhog, ate all that stuff. And cooking it over a fire and stuff. Just with the hands. Yeah, stuff that I just couldn't even fathom most of these kids nowadays doing. Well, I don't know, but I loved it, man. I loved that stuff. That time in life was just awesome. It felt so free. It felt like a whole world back there. And we just rode dirt bikes and hunting. It was great. It was great. And let's see here. Trish says, Long Island. Didn't have our first frost until mid-November last year. I had some surprise slips, so I figured I'd plant them and see what happens. Yeah, not a problem. Why not? Go ahead. You'll probably get something. You just want to make sure that they don't rest on the ground and try to reroot. You want to keep, since it's a late planting, keep the vines only trimmed to about 4 feet long, no longer than that. And make sure that they don't set down additional roots, because that'll draw their energy away from the main tubers. So keep them trimmed to about 3 or 4 feet long only. That's all the longer they need to be, and they'll focus enough energy. And okay, so let's see here what you guys are talking about. Yes, love to brainstorm. Yes, definitely. Natural is better. Live to be bold. Yes, TC. I like it. PA says, I've heard that if you have a cut and put worm castings on it, the microbiology will help it heal faster. I haven't heard that, but yeah. I know sometimes people just rub dirt into it. I know it seems counterintuitive, but I've seen this all over the world. The indigenous type of people, they do that more than we do here, of course. So, Pam says, when I was growing up, we loved to go barefoot and walked in the dung after our dad had dipped the cattle. Made mud cakes. I climbed trees into my late teens. Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Those are wonderful things. Walking barefoot is wonderful. And you know what I was just thinking the other day is that when I was young, I used to walk barefoot all over the place, and I would get stung at least once a summer on the foot, but that hasn't happened in years. And I go barefoot every chance I can. And yeah, it just hasn't happened in years. The same thing about the pollinators, and the same thing about just the insects in general. I've said this on my other channel, but this channel can understand that as well. How important it is, And when I was a kid, I remember going for a drive in the country, and just the grill of the car would just be plastered with insects. Just some of them big, huge wings on them. Some of them just green and gooey and so real nasty. All of that. Just tons of insects on the windshield and everything. But yet now there's I look on the front of my car, I don't see a single insect. I don't see any of them. And so it's deeply alarming, to say the least, because without the insects, there's no us. And so very interesting times that we're living in, guys. And for those of us that, pretty much anyone watching this and stuff, but the next 10, 20, and 40 years is going to be just incredibly interesting, because the pace that everything is changing at is exponential. All the graphs that you see of energy consumption, of natural resource depletion and consumption, of the decline of insect populations, all of those graphs are exponential, the hockey stick type graph. It goes along for a while, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. We are in that exponential. All the graphs right now, virtually, are in the exponential increase. And so we live on a finite planet with finite resources and finite energy. And so exponential cannot work. It's impossible. It's a math problem. And so there's no way that this is going to be sustained in any way in our lifetime. There's going to be some major kind of reformation of all of this. Some kind of reset. Maybe some kind of great reset. We don't know. But I hope that some of you guys have started reading this book. And wait a second. Borderline Crazy says, Nate, I went to a party of yours back in high school, and you became my hero that night for getting me back my coat that had been stolen that same night. Do you remember? That is Spencer. Is that right? Is that right? Says, missed you, brother. Life is good. Wow, that's crazy. If that's, I kind of wonder what had happened to you over the years. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, my friend. Life is good. Life has been so unbelievably good to me. So much greater than I could have ever even hoped for or imagined. So at this point, I'm doing all of this stuff now just because I just want to try and give back something to life, because life it's given me everything that it ever could have. And so I am just deeply indebted to life in a way. And so for that, I just want to share everything with people, and help people maybe actualize their own so that they can say for themselves, yes, life has given me everything, because that's such a wonderful feeling to be able to say that, and so, and say it and mean it, to really mean it. Like, man, if I were to die tomorrow, Mom, do not lament for me. You might be sad, but don't feel bad for me, because there's nothing more of life that I need. I've got it all. I've had it all already. So I 100% happy and fulfilled, and the memories about the past and my childhood and all of that stuff has all been healed. Everything feels just whole. And so that is if something were to happen tomorrow, it is not a problem. You don't need to feel like, oh, he died young or something like that. No, man, not at all. Not at all. I don't view it that way at all. It's just been fantastic. So anything beyond this point is just an absolute bonus. I mean, 100% bonus. And so I want for everyone to be able to say that and mean it, because I think that that's important. So I don't know what got me off on that kick, but I just wanted to say that so that it's out there. Borderline Crazy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it is. I remember you, man. Do you remember that time that we were cruising on the motorcycle, both of us? And yeah, crazy times, man. A whole different life, man. Graham says, in the Bible, it's called Jesus healing the blind man, showing people a better way of life. Absolutely. Yes. If you take it as a parable, of course, a metaphor, then you can see that the people that were blind, now they can see. They can see with the eye of the mind, the ultimate vision. This is truly the healing of the blind. And let's see here. Online Cheaters Exposed says, must be nice. I'm nowhere near that space. Hey, not a problem, my friend. Then it is possible. It is absolutely possible. You can get there. And it's not like some long, arduous journey. I'm not sure exactly how others would come to this, because it's not really like a place. It's just a relinquishing of everything. But definitely the practices and everything like that are super important, my friend. He says, I'm getting better, though, to long from the goal. Yes, absolutely. But I think that what is very important, and what I did for several years, is to visioneer. It's like engineering, except visioneering is what I call it. Your future. You visioneer your future in the sense that it's so important that you formulate. I mean, it's everything. The image in the mind is everything. And so it's so vitally important that you create an image in your mind of the exact being that you are to become. The exact being. You have to feel it. You have to feel that person. You have to see the image in the mind, how content that being is, how generous their heart is, how loving they are, how people love them and they love people, how people respect them and they respect people. All of this, you have to really see that and feel it and make it crystal clear in the eye of your mind. and then hold on to that. This person is healthy. It's free of addictive behaviors or self-destructive things. It's free. This being is completely free of toxic relationships, neediness in the relationships, and all of that. All that stuff is gone. And this is what I'm talking about. You have to visualize this and then hold that image crystal clear in your mind. And the law of, well, it's commonly called the law of attraction, but I don't call it that. I call it the law of confirmation. That the external environment always eventually comes into alignment to confirm the internal environment. The external environment confirms the internal. The external landscape becomes, or the internal landscape becomes the external landscape. This is the law of confirmation. And so eventually it does come to pass. It's the way it works. Yes. Brian says, letting go the pain of the past is the only way to find the future. I love that. What we talked about last week. Guys, we had a good one last week. We were really on a roll with everything and the content that we had. So I suggest you go back and watch the one from last week, because we really talked about how to get sort of toxic relationships out of your life and sort of what they're doing and why you're stuck in these kind of things. Ursula, the law of confirmation. That's right. Belongs on some merch. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Man, there's so much going on, so much I'm trying to do with, to get the Garden Like a Viking thing happening, to build the brand, the Viking brand, basically. So if you guys have any suggestions for stuff, you can let me know. And be sure to let me know any name suggestions. Maybe we'll do a poll. Possibly. We'll see, how that goes, of the name for the new channel. Okay, because we're going to start that new channel so that we can get a dedicated tribe of people that is really only into this kind of thing. Spiritual expansion, manifesting, and law of attraction, which I don't even use those words. It's more visioneering the future. So it's more uncovering what is already there. And okay, guys. Yeah, sorry I was a little bit late today, but next week it'll be the same time, same place, and we have one on Saturdays at 12 noon Eastern time on the Garden Like a Viking channel. And check me out, the Garden Like a Viking, on Instagram, also Facebook. I'm going to get back into Facebook's, the page, Garden Like a Viking page, yes. And I'm going to soon be releasing 3,000 ladybugs into the garden. So we used to do this in Humboldt when I lived and grew there. We would release like 3,000 ladybugs in each greenhouse. And we had 5 greenhouses right in a row, 100 feet long, 20 feet wide. And so we would release a lot of them. But if they don't have food, then they're going to go. They only stay where the food is. And so there's plenty of stuff to eat in the garden, though. So I'm going to be releasing those pretty soon. And guys, everything is growing wonderfully, and you can look forward to growing. We're going to do cold training this winter. I'll get you guys into that as well. We'll do so we'll get some more in depth with the meditation. As we do more of this stuff, it's going to become more structured in some way, maybe, but it's going to become, there's a progression to all of it. We're just working out how it's all going to be, but this is all for the betterment of everything. Practices, the diet, nutrition, cleansing, hydration, all of this is what we need more of, both in our life and then in the world. But remember, if you take care of yourself, as far as self-actualization is the number one way to heal the world as a whole. Because if I self-actualize, and then you self-actualize, and then the other person self-actualize, then the whole takes care of itself already. You don't even have to think about changing anyone else. You don't have to feel bad that, oh man, the world is just, the way of things, the trend of the culture and all that, it's all going downhill. You don't have to think about any of that. You don't have to worry about that other people aren't awakening. All that you need to be concerned about is awakening to your highest self with a capital S. Awakening the God consciousness that already lies dormant within you. This is the only thing that matters. Okay, my friends, so we will see you next week. Good hanging out with you guys. And so happy I found you in this community. All great. Great start to the week. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Pam. And until then, sir, much peace. Yes, with you as well. Let's grow with Nate Murray. Yes, definitely, we're growing. Val says, would love a second session weekly. Man, once we get an established like tribe of, and a schedule and all that, we will do that. Maybe we'll do one like this and then another one focused on like cold and sauna therapy and stuff like that and breathing exercises. There's so many possibilities. I love it. So, okay, guys, thank you for everything.